Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show, and boy, do we have a show for you tonight. If you watch the last bit of show prep, you know how much fun Davey and I are going to have. Because Davey almost laughed out of his chair today in show prep. I've never seen that happen before.
What a day.
And by the way, for those of you that missed the live version, here he is. I bring him to you. The one, the only.
In sepia font. I love it.
Davey Hartzel.
I love filters. Look how nice that is, Amanda. This
I
is
heard
very
other
thinning.
shows were not going on today. And you know what? They just don't have Amanda as a producer. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Oh.
I'm throwing shade,
Shots
baby.
Yeah, that was shade.
Just for, what is it, Yellowstone coming back for the 5th season? We have Yellowstone.
Okay, first of all, I know we got to do some reason to get paid, but real quick, the Yellowstone thing is a tragedy on marketing on how they did this.
Oh, yeah. I haven't watched
This is a why didn't you fix this?
Fix what?
Where you can see Yellowstone, it's only on Paramount Network, not on Paramount Plus, and like you got to jump through 2 hoops to be able to see it. It's horrible.
Welcome to my world the last 6 or
Can't stand
7
it.
years of watching Yellowstone.
I'm very upset.
So what I do, I told him, I have, I forget, Xfinity or whatever, so I just record the shows. So I could go back and watch them anytime I want to.
Oh, yeah.
But when Yellowstone 1883 and my favorite 1923 came out, I'd already bought Paramount Plus.
Okay.
I bought it for a couple of reasons. One, we wanted to go back and watch all the Blue Bloods episodes.
Yeah, I love Paramount Plus. I have that.
And I bought it without the commercials. I finally got
Me
tired of working through the
Me
commercials.
too. I love it.
And somebody handed me a pocket protector. I had to be able to watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It was so good. It's so good. Anson Mount is amazing as Captain Pike.
Trying to see if we have a pocket protector.
I was just like, I got to do that. So
Wow.
anyway, I was all in for that. So I got it. But I got to tell you, the Yellowstone stuff is phenomenal. The other one, if you haven't watched it, Taylor Sheridan has Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. They're finishing season 2. Amazing.
You like this?
Yes.
Okay.
It is a role that Sylvester Stallone was born to play.
Really?
He's a mob guy who did something wrong 20 years ago, got sent to prison.
Sounds like him, yeah.
Didn't spill the beans.
Always like a Goomba. Yeah.
And then he gets out of prison expecting to be rewarded for his silence, and they banish him to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then it just starts rolling. So he's got
Just like the tumbleweeds.
Davey, he's got a young African-American driver.
Oh, look at
who's
you.
like a Lyft driver,
Uh-huh.
right? And the kid loves Sylvester Stallone. And so Manfredi is his name, Dwight Manfredi. And so he wants to come to work for him. But he's looking at Manfredi and he's like, you're such a gangster in today's gangster terms.
Yeah.
Right? Manfredi thinks he's calling him a gangster from the 1970s or 80s, and he gets all mad. He's like, no, it's a good word now, right? It's just this whole how language had changed over 25 years in prison or whatever. So, yes, that's it.
Versus
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No hard R.
there's a lot of fun stuff in that. But the other one that just dropped too was another Taylor Sheridan show, Lioness.
I think I've seen this.
And Lioness season 2, the opening episode 1.
Yeah, I saw this.
Off the charts good with the chase scene.
Yes.
The river.
Very good.
Very good. Isn't that amazing?
I actually really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yes. I showed that to some of my buddies.
Even Tim Gauze in comments, and he rarely comments on any of my shows anymore.
Yes.
But he now on this show, he's saying Lioness is equally as awesome.
Yes. I've told him it's okay to comment to you on this show.
I love him.
He's intimidated by you on the other shows.
love
but
him
on this
so much.
show, Tim is perfectly fine
It's
to comment.
Jimmy Jam season, baby, so you got to get ready.
Yes, Tim, anything with Nicole Kidman can't be bad except for that stupid movie with Tom Cruise.
What? The worst? Are you kidding me? All she does is whisper. It's like, you can't hear a dang thing she says the entire time. Oh, but I can't.
Tim and I say together at one time as a unified male voice. She can whisper anytime she wants.
Oh, please. She's like 2 sheets to the wind. The wind blows and she goes there with her. When's the last time she had a sandwich? She is something now. I'm over her. She's dead to me. Anyway.
Tim, that's all it takes. All right, let's make some money for this show.
Please.
So we can pay Davey. Because Davey is like hurting. His royalties off the show at
Everything
noontime
is
are off
falling
the charts.
apart. The cat bit the dog. Oh.
All right, Salomon Services, the premier place for personal training in St. Augustine. They specialize in both youth and adult classes. They have small group strength and fitness development classes. speed and agility development. If you've been injured, they can get you back on the field or the court in better shape and stronger. They do all of this in their state-of-the-art center with both indoor and outdoor turf areas, and every single one of their coaches is certified through the National Strength and Conditioning Association. Give them a call. I keep telling you it's not too late to get in shape this year, but you're running out of time.
Seriously.
You're going to have to make a new resolution to get in shape next year. Why not get started early at Salomon Services? Call them 904-461-9945 or visit their website, salomonservices.com.
Turns out round is a shape, Mike Davis. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to customer service. That has been evident.
Said nobody who went to Davey's spin class. Said nobody who went to Davey's spin class.
For the win. That was hysterical.
Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, their dedication to customer service has been evident in everything they do for the 39 years they've been in business. From the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home, they are working to make you comfortable and confident about the care and service you receive from Powell. With their fleet of 10-plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, they're ready to serve you around the clock. They service all heating and air conditioning brands. Powell's emergency service is always open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, including nights, weekends, and holidays. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your air conditioning needs.
And Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure it's a new election, so I have to make sure I choose my words. Your time and experience in buying a car is stress-free and fun and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been a recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 in automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford has also won back-to-back presidential awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today or online at bozardford.com. Have you driven a Ford lately?
All right, and the neighborhood diners are more than just a place to eat. They're a place where hospitality blooms and friends gather. Bring your own or make new ones at Moultrie Creek Diner, Anastasia Diner. The coffee is always hot, the smiles are genuine, and the food tastes like home. Every meal is a chance to make memories, share stories, and create bonds that last a lifetime.
Nice, yeah.
It's not just about the food on the plate, Davey,
It's Arnold
but
Schwarzenegger
the
voice.
community that comes together at the table. Come see us at Moultrie Creek Diner, Anastasia Diner, and tell them Andy sent you. Tell him go dogs, but quietly this week. Quietly.
Oh, yeah.
Quietly.
Oh,
Yeah.
sensitive.
Yes, a little sensitive about last week.
Sensitive.
So, yes. All right, all kinds of things going on.
Go Chiefs!
I do want to say once again that this show is successfully being aired without any problems.
Okay, you
So,
know.
yes. I'm only doing that because Pete's in the comments.
I guarantee you he plugged all the way out. He's already done. Yeah.
It's like, that's it. I'm not listening to Mike Davis tonight.
He's just making
or
sure.
any other night for that matter. My rent just went up. No, so we're very glad to be on today. Your show is going to be aired when? You're trying to figure out when to re-air your show.
Working on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
yes,
right.
we'll be
but
fine.
you are because you always do an amazing show, and I want people to see your show.
Thank you,
Even
yeah.
though I've never watched your show.
We know, yeah. You do something in 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes.
I'm working. It's a 4-letter word.
Right.
Yes.
Can't just rearrange some meetings. You ever, Mark Bailey does, Just
I'm saying
Do you
an
ever see me
appetizer.
come
It's
in
an
here in
appetizer.
t-shirts, shorts, and flip-flops, right?
You could. You have that option.
I do not
Yesterday,
have that
very
option.
casual with the hat on. Yeah.
I'm not. That was my hat from the NFL's Salute to Veterans
Yeah.
from a few years ago.
Yes.
So,
we had
yeah.
Sheriff Hardwick on this morning, talked about his speech on Veterans Day, which was very moving over at Anastasia Baptist.
Did you
Yeah,
see
we
this
heard
week?
good
I did
things.
not. Did you?
I did not. I felt bad because Bill Dudley's on our board for Home Again.
Amazing human being,
I had to
yeah.
apologize to him today. When you come back from vacation, taking an hour off to do anything,
Yeah.
it's not. that's
But does
not-
Bill accept that excuse?
He did not.
Yeah, I
I did
know.
not. I have KP duty for a week at his
Yeah.
house.
See? You BS
And,
the
and if
baker,
I'm
you
not
get a
careful, I'm going to
bun.
get latrine duty. So yeah, it's not good. I'm in deep trouble with Colonel Dudley.
Yeah.
Bobby said it was a great speech.
It was
Bobby
awesome,
was in
yeah.
comments
Yeah,
saying it was great.
I heard that Sheriff Hardwick did an amazing job. I heard I asked for some video. So Bill's working on that so we can share that video with our audience for people
Oh,
who
that'd be
couldn't make
cool.
it.
I'd love to see
So
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we're gonna try to get some video and some audio from that
Very cool.
event so we can share that.
He said the best part was being in traffic at the Bridge of Lions before he actually rolled up to Anastasia Baptist, which he didn't do like his normal meet and greet, which kind of drains your energy, right? When you're talking to all those people. So for him to get up there and deliver this really emotional speech, and he really honored vets, like that was really awesome. Like especially Vietnam vets, you know, because they never really got the appreciation that they got when they got back. So that was really emotional and really cool how he led that off. And I'm busting to see it. That'd be a great speech to see.
Be awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna be absolutely amazing. We'll get a hold of that. We'll get it out there. I told him we'd save it and archive it. So next year when he comes to plug the event at Anastasia Baptist Church, we can pull up video from last year. Yeah. So I know you know how to do that. I have no idea. So Amanda, thank you for knowing how to do that.
I love how you make promises for me.
Well, I just was trying to make my show look good through your hard work.
I'll do that.
Isn't that great?
I'll bill you.
Yes.
We just send an invoice. That's our homework.
And the problem is I pay those invoices. Did
you
paying those invoices?
On your trip, did you get any cute souvenirs? Anything fun? A little magnet?
No magnets. No.
Or shot glasses.
You don't seem to be the tchotchke type of a guy.
I didn't do magnets. I didn't do shot glasses. We've been down there a bunch, right? And so one of the guys that went with us years ago, he bought his daughter a soccer ball that had Costa Rican flags all over it and everything. It was a really cool soccer ball. But we bought it, and you don't know the exchange rate until they tell you what you're paying at the cash register in cash as well. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like, you understand, you just bought a $60 soccer ball.
It has flags on
I
it.
said, you can't take it back now. You got the soccer ball. You told your
yours.
daughter you're ready. You got it. So every time we go to leave at the airport, I'm like, hey, you want one of those soccer balls again? You know me. I'm not going to miss the
That
opportunity.
is a limited edition soccer ball that's hand-painted flags all over.
It was.
See?
It's now been, his daughter is a really good soccer player.
Oh,
so.
how beautiful. Now it's probably a trophy in her bedroom or something.
It's been destroyed by the 8,000 kicks a day she put into that.
Oh, she
soccer
actually
ball.
used it.
She used it. No, really, but so not really. I mean, the fun thing is we got to see a lot of people that we've known down there for years, kind of catch up with them a little bit. It's kind of like visiting family. You see them once a year.
Yeah.
Like in the old days.
Yeah.
Because I don't have their phone number. I don't text them. They don't call me. But there was a little bit of tragedy on the way out. There was a flood the night we left. So some people around lost their houses. And that, having watched all the flooded areas on the island over the last 6 years, or 8 years, right? It's kind of like, okay, I feel really bad for these people. So, yeah, there was a little bit of that going on. And we were a little bit lucky to get out of there. There was quite a bit of flooding on the day we were leaving.
Do you go in there and you're thinking, well, if we can move this, up a hill a little bit with a 45-degree angle, then the water comes. Do you redo the whole town, the villages, or no?
No. So no, for me, it was just
hunker down.
When it floods that much there and it runs down, and it can rain a little bit on the coast where we're at, but if it rains
in the mountains,
buckets in the mountains, it just gathers up steam, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they show the little rock that you throw off of the snow-covered mountain, and it's a big, huge ball. You get to the bottom. Rivers are the same way. They're just wet and messy. So it just, all that stuff there was a tree that lodged itself against the bridge that we have to drive over to get out of town. It was a huge, probably 24-inch diameter tree wedged up against the bridge, and you're like, and it's just collecting all the other stuff that goes by, and it's just getting bigger, and you're like, we probably ought to get over that bridge.
Right.
You might want to get on a good side of that bridge. Because if you don't, it's like a 4-hour drive around to get.
Are you in a regular car? Or are you in some kind of rustic?
Well, you had to ask, so I will tell you the story. Oh yeah, and I thanked God for him. So Bert Tavry, who's been on the show a couple of times, Bert does not keep anything hidden, right? It's out there. And so my buddy Sal and I have always rented a car. We go down there. We usually go down in the dry season. We've never had a hard time in the wet season with a car. And you can put your boards in the car, right? Other people only get trucks when they go down there because of the following thing. So we're down there last year. It's raining cats and dogs. We're going through mud holes and stuff. It's a 4-wheel drive car, but it's still a car. It's low. Cool. It's low clearance, right? So we get out at this parking lot.
It's not a Cybertruck is what you're saying.
No, it's not a Cybertruck. And there's no place to charge those down there. So we get out, and Bert has this disgusted look on his face. Like somebody has just told him the worst possible news ever, right? And we're like, Bert, what's wrong? No. Bert, what's wrong? We only got to ask him twice, right? And Bert unloads. Everybody that comes down here gets a bleeping truck. Get a bleeping truck. Nobody gets a car, right? Just unloads.
Okay.
And so at dinner that night, he's like, hey, I'm really sorry. And we're like, no, we appreciate the advice, right? So the next couple times we've been down, some of them with Bert, we've gotten a truck. So I got a truck this time. I roll up on this flooded road. I mean, completely flooded road. It's the last mile of road to get to the main road that's paved to get out of the country to the airport, right?
Sounds like downtown St. Augustine. Go ahead. Yeah.
And I look at this, and there's a waterfall on the right side of the road coming off of a field.
Oh.
It's literally sheet flowing across the road at an undisclosed depth. There's 4 cars waiting to see if somebody will go try it.
Oh, no.
Yes. So finally a truck tries it, and he makes it. We're like, okay, we'll just follow his path. But as I start driving, I said, boys, there's only one person to thank for this. And that's Bert Taffrey.
Yeah.
If Bert hadn't yelled at us last year, you always get a bleeping truck.
Yeah.
We'd have had a car. But he expressed his opinion. We listened to his advice.
See, everything happens for a reason.
So we made it out. Yeah, I have pictures of, I'll show you how flooded it was, Davey. It was not good. So this was the section of road.
Holy guacamole, yeah.
So there's the line of cars that wouldn't go, right? And then
I'm sure it's riveting to watch the two of them have a conversation you can't
I'm going to send it to you.
It is, but my facial expressions sell it every time.
every time.
This is the other side of the road. If you look at the small truck, there's a
You
guy
guys is exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it's
Like
exactly.
up to the lip of the truck.
Yeah.
The back.
It was good. You
Little
want me to send
kiss?
those to you?
If you want, I can
Awesome.
send them to everybody.
I'll send them to you. I'll share it with you, Amanda.
A little kiss on the bumper,
Email or
email, and then I can show everybody.
Okay, gotcha.
So I had an extraordinary weekend. I had my first St. Augustine Little League experience.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
I am the announcer for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
And they are the undefeated.
Tampa Bay Rays?
Yeah, they all have like names. Like, you know what I mean? Like there also is a Mariners team. That's
All
who
right.
we were against. But we're undefeated.
All right.
And we get in a lot of trouble because our team makes a lot of noise. We have cowbells.
Yes.
And we have this thing, Amanda, I don't know if you've ever seen this with other mommies out there, but like there's something called like a loud bottle. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
It's like a water bottle like this, and you like go,
Blow in it.
It is so cool. I need it for Florida Man games for sure. Yeah, that is like, and it's like a noise machine on your water bottle. It's so
Yes.
cool.
Do they sell bedazzled versions of these?
Very good
Right.
question. Nice challenge.
Yes.
I will definitely
figure
hunt
this
for
out.
this. Yes. Nice.
Etsy.
So yeah, we
Everything's
had a
on
great
Etsy.
time. Kids are incredible, and
Yes.
I think it's so magical to like, even if you're blue, no matter what you're going through in life,
Yeah.
but if you just are around a group of kids who just live unapologetically,
Yeah.
I think that can just reset your sparkle points a little bit.
I think so,
you know?
too.
Yeah, I love that. It
How
was
old
so
are the
fun.
kids?
6, 7, and there's 2 or 3 8-year-olds.
Okay. Yeah, I think that Little League is one of the most fun things.
It's so fun.
It's the only thing that brings it down is the parents sometimes take it too seriously.
They are so
You
ridiculous.
gotta not take
I
it
got
so
in trouble, Mike
seriously.
Davis. I got in big trouble.
Oh my god!
Please don't ring the bell when they're at the bat. I went, oh, okay.
That's a rule. You didn't know that?
I was excited. I have a loose wrist. The bell was going nuts. What do you want from me? I do the best I can.
Oh, my word.
It was
Bruce
fun,
Riss.
though. We had a great time. My niece was there, too. She was rooting for the other team. It was fun. We had a good time.
All right, so the rest of the audience can see what Mike Lewis was showing. Here we
Okay,
go.
here we go.
That's correct.
There it is.
Mike Lewis's flooded road.
Please, in comments, what do you prefer, my facial
Well,
expressions or
whenever-
these pictures?
Davey's facial expressions were way better than my pictures.
They're frozen. Thank
Yes. No, it was quite the fun trip out of there. And we're all looking at it going, well, if the truck stalls and floods, we're definitely not leaving today. And we can't go back surfing because the car's flooded. We'll be here for hours waiting on another car.
Yeah.
If we make it there, the undercarriage will be completely clean. They
Yeah.
won't have to do anything to it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Freshwater, right?
It was all fresh water.
Brackish.
It was all, but it was just one of those, we literally had come down off this mountain road, Davey, that we had never taken before to get to this spot. And we're like, okay, we made it. And then we turned the corner and we saw all these cars jammed up and we're like, oh my God, what's going on? Did somebody get hit? And then we see the flooded road and we're like, ooh,
Amanda
we're
and
not
I,
home yet. We're not in Kansas yet.
Amanda and I would never have made this mistake because we learned from TLC. You don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's
Please stick
true.
to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, right?
Facts.
How do you have an
100%.
adventure if you stay in the rivers and lakes that you're used to?
Oh,
How can you go surfing in a new place if you don't take risks, Davey?
I I don't know.
Life is too short not to take
like
risks.
when you're in like a deserted place. You take risks here in your home turf where it's a little safer.
I do. I do a show with you once a week. Do you know what risk I take?
I did walk into that
Do you
one.
understand the risk?
True. Yes, I do. With all my fashion crap, I know exactly. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you once a week.
I'm just happy you were the one sitting next to him because it would have been me.
That would have 100% been
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Speaking of traveling outside of the lakes and the rivers you're used to, I am working on finalizing my trip to Peru, and it's very exciting.
Oh,
Sweet.
cool. Llamas.
Llamas, lots of llamas.
Yes.
In fact, one of the tour groups we're trying to book is llama tours. We're going to Machu Picchu.
Oh my goodness!
spit, you know.
Wasn't it closed and now it's just reopened for tourists? It was something like that.
I don't know. My friend has been stationed there for about 4 years. Peru was really locked down during that time that we don't talk about.
Right, and that was one thing.
They had like the vax passport thing, and every child over 13. So I was like, well,
Bali was like that too. I couldn't go to Bali.
I'll
It was
talk
horrible.
to you when things change because like I'm not vaxing my kids
Have you
for a vacation.
Have you been to the Peru?
I have not been to the Peru.
Really?
So I'm
Okay.
very excited. I've never been South America more than Curacao and Aruba.
Oh,
so
this
I've
is
only
gonna
been
be
on the
so
on the
magical.
islands. I
I'm
haven't been
so
on the
happy
continent.
for you right
Excited.
now. You got to
Excited.
have the maracuja out there. That's the passion fruit.
Okay.
We don't get like it is real. Do you like passion fruit?
Not really.
Oh,
But I'll try it.
Yeah, you need to try it. Just have a little shot glass for me.
Okay.
It's really fresh and amazing. It'll
right.
just wake you up. It's so good.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm
So-
excited.
So my friend is ending her time in Peru. The military is going to give her her next duty assignment soon, and they'll be moving over the summer. So
Do you know where she's
we're
gonna
kind
go?
of just
What?
to the wire. I
Okay.
don't know yet.
Okay.
I might find out over the trip. I'm not sure if they've given
What
her
if
the
it's
announcement
Antarctica?
yet.
What would you do?
Well, she has a couple of different options. All of them very exciting. If it was Antarctica, I would definitely go.
Would you really?
They are doing a family cruise to Antarctica, and so I thought about traveling with them on that cruise, but they're not landing on the continent. And if I'm going to blow my wad on Antarctica, I want to land on the
Yeah,
continent.
totally. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
just wave past it. I want to step foot on it.
Would
I
you
want to
go?
go during a time where I can see leopard seals.
There's no surf in Antarctica, so it's not high on my
Losers.
list.
What do you can't like snowboard?
No, you can't snowboard down there, and surfing down there is probably not good either, unless you want to be frozen to death.
Oh, right, true.
So I really, it's just not on the list. I mean, people are asking me, where do you want to go? Well, places I can go surfing. And that's like top of the list. Send me places I can. Now, I don't mind going to the mountains in the summertime because there's no surf here either. And I really enjoy being up at elevation. And Colorado's great. Wyoming, all those places are fun into the summer. But yeah, I usually, if you're asking me to go somewhere, it's got to be really beautiful mountain vistas or a beach that I can go surfing.
Oh, you really like that?
That's
Jeez.
how I
My
am. I'm
dad's like
sorry.
that too.
Yeah.
How about? I mean, I'm sure you guys are paying attention to the news. How about Haiti, the airport? Did you hear about this?
No, what happened?
Good gracious, you guys! It's
I didn't think
bad.
anything was happening in the world except in the United States.
Typical.
I'm just being an ugly American.
I'm gonna be on my best behavior. No, but honestly, there was shots were fired at the Haiti airport, and a bullet grazed the Spirit Airlines. The airport is shut down. It was like the militia because there was a overturn of power, I guess, and the new president was like inaugurated in on that day. A hot mess, though. Nobody was hurt, thank goodness. But crazy, right?
Okay, other than missionaries,
Yeah,
other than people that are going to help Haiti,
Rotarians.
why in the hell would you get on a plane to go to Haiti?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that have folks and stuff, you know.
Why in the hell would you get on a plane to go to Haiti? You didn't answer the question,
We
David.
missed
don't even
the
have running
key
water.
point in this story. They were fired. The airline that was fired at was Spirit Airline, and I think we can all understand why that happened.
Amanda, you're about to travel to Peru. You need all the karma you
Hey.
can get right
You can say whatever you want to about. You can say whatever you want to about Spirit Airlines. They are not a sponsor.
No,
So
they're
you
not.
can say
They won't
whatever
be.
you
Yeah,
want.
they won't
Until
be,
they're
yeah.
sponsoring the 904 now and the Florida Man games, you can say whatever the heck you want.
Right,
true.
true,
Yes.
true.
Yes.
That's a good rule.
I feel like Southwest would be more closely aligned to the Florida Man Games than Spirit.
Southwest has a sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they used to. I don't think they're as much fun as they used
They
to be.
used to be a lot of
They
fun.
used
yeah.
to be a lot of fun.
I
They're
remember.
not as much fun. American Airlines was no fun on the way out.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's what I have to take.
Well, are you carrying a surfboard with you?
No.
You're going to be fine.
Just an attitude problem.
Well, you better be careful at the Jacksonville at 4 a.m.
Oh,
they
that's
don't
when- that's
like
me.
They don't like bad attitudes.
I like that time though.
We did find a really nice supervisor that corrected the problem. but American Airlines changed the requirements for surfboard bags.
Oh no.
Ooh.
So they're telling me now you have to. It's a length, width, and a height
My whole life.
of the surfboard.
It's
right?
not just a tender profile.
It's
huh?
not just. No, it's not. And I'm thinking in my mind, well, that's volume, right? And there's no way. And they're like, well, what's the requirement? You have to be under 115 inches. Didn't seem to be a problem.
Didn't seem to be a
Didn't
problem.
seem to be, right? But they don't multiply it, they add it. And so they add the length, they add the width, they add the height. It's because I think Jacksonville has a lot of small planes that fly out of it, and they have a hard time getting bigger surfboards and bags into that. So ours was 124 inches combined. We're 9 inches too long.
Yeah.
9 inches too long, Davey.
2 Fridays on a Saturday. Just gonna say it, but I'm gonna tell you, why don't you bring a boogie board, or can't you do like some kind of different kind of like a
Do
different
you know
kind
what a
of
boogie
surfboard?
board is called in surfing world?
What is it?
A speed bump.
They're fun. You can.
So when you run over them, they're a speed bump. Boom, boom. Boogie boarders are fine. I've known a lot of really good boogie
So
boarders.
your new bio for home again, is it going to have an asterisk 9 inches too long?
It should.
It's not gonna have that. So anyway, we did talk to a nice supervisor who we explained to her we've traveled all the time, and finally she said okay. In Liberia, Costa Rica, people were bringing in board bags that were double our size, and they were just throwing them on the plane because it's big planes leaving there. They don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
But they used to charge you $250, $300 just for your surfboards. So you throw out 4 boards in a board bag rather than 2 bags. Now they're down to like $40.
Yeah.
But they looked at us and said, well, yours is overweight and oversized. We're going to charge you $250. We're like, we're still made out. It's $50 less than what we used to pay. Okay, let's go. And we got our boards with us, which was great. But yeah, it's kind of a little discouraging. Another friend did not get to go on Monday because he couldn't get his board bag underneath the 115 requirement.
Good gracious.
No way.
Yeah.
Bumped.
Bumped from the flight, decided not to rebook, done.
Wow, crazy.
That stinks.
Yeah. So
From
it's
where
kinda
were they, from Jacksonville?
from Jacksonville. So surfers out there, if you're traveling, make sure.
You didn't want to give the supervisor's name. Go talk to Brenda over at the no.
No, Barbara Jean, I was not complaining about 9 inches being too long. I was just simply saying it was unfortunate that my board was 124 inches long.
Allegedly. Well, you said they're adding it. They could have multiplied it, so there was a lot of room for error there.
Yeah.
I think he just measured it on a hot day. If it had been the winter, it would have fit.
Wood
It would have been just fine.
Wood
You know,
expands.
the problem is we didn't dunk it in cold water before we took
True.
it into the airport. If
Yeah.
we'd just done that, it would have fit
That
perfectly.
makes
Exactly.
sense. Wood is natural.
You know, it probably would have
Sure.
only been about 98 inches if we'd put it in ice cold water before we brought it in there.
You could have called Troy.
Allegedly.
He could have given you a whole lecture about it with pictures that you don't
Oh,
want.
the pictures.
Oh, my goodness.
Be careful what you ask for
All
from
right.
Troy.
So I have a question, and if you don't want to go into great detail, don't, because we didn't talk about this in show. But last week was the election.
Oh yeah.
Reactions after the election, because you weren't on Wednesday or Thursday on our show, and so what? Just kind of comments in general.
Honestly, comments in general, it's hard because you see so many. You see one side of joy and jubilation, which is most of our community. But then when I widen my aperture and I look at all of my friends out there who are like just devastated, and my general thesis is we have to stop projecting and start reflecting. Look at when Ronald Reagan won, the whole country was basically red except for one state, right? What was it? Wisconsin or Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Go Gophers. But yeah, so I mean, it's just like, they think that the Democratic Party, it's done. No, slow down. Everybody stop projecting doom and gloom at this moment. And on that side, I don't know what you see, but that's exactly what I've been kind of juggling, this like bipolar world of
So
seesaw.
the thing for me is very interesting, right? I've been involved in politics. I had Republicans win when I was younger. I had more Democrats than Republicans win in my middle ages and as I'm getting older. So, I mean, honestly, you had 2 Obama terms, a Trump term, and then a Biden term. So 3 out of the last 4, the election's not gone the way that I wanted it to go. I just got up the next day and went to work. I understood that the tax policy, yeah, you're going to be thrown out if you don't.
I'm collected by the rainbow. But that's what they're. I'm like, would you guys stop? This is so ridiculous. Yeah.
And
Someone's
I-
going to show up and just take you away. I'm big. I'm larger than the surfboard.
The man had
Allegedly.
Donald Trump hosted a gay wedding at his house. I don't think he's going to turn around.
No, he needs us to be, keep it pretty.
He went to the UN and told nations that are adamantly opposed to gay marriage that they needed to stop vilifying gay people around the world and they needed to have the right to marriage. He said that at the UN.
Yeah.
And you're worried about him coming after you in this guy. That's just not him.
Again, projecting and not reflecting.
So, but we all have a job to do. You get up and go to work the next day.
Boy, was it funny, though, to see, like, the Democrats talk about what went wrong and, like, they just never really had a clear narrative, whether it was nobody really knew who she was. I heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
But they really kind of leaned a little bit more on the conservative side for Democrats. I felt like when watching all the different campaigns, like they really dove into trans rights. I did not support trans rights. And I'm like, you're running in the Democratic ticket? And that doesn't sound like, you know what I mean? It doesn't sound authentic to your brand as I'm looking at it as a marketer. So that's kind of how I felt. I felt like they just nobody could get a unified front with the Democratic Party. And that's kind of what my reflection is.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's kind of interesting is 4 or 8 years ago when Trump won, people on the left went nuts. And there was no pushback. What I'm seeing this time is pushback from people saying, hey, y'all need to grow up.
Yeah.
The pushback isn't shut up, and the pushback isn't you don't have a right to speak. The pushback is, hey, there's a lot of people out there that voted for him that are good people, and you need to understand that. And you need to move on. Nobody's coming after you. All of these outlandish stories about Trump putting people in concentration camps are ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I will say that, yeah.
I had a Democrat look at me and say that, and I said, are you kidding me? I said, he's not the one, and Facebook, you can censor me for this if you want to. He's not the one that said, if you don't get a shot, you can't have a job. He didn't say that. That was a Democrat administration that said that. And most of you that are complaining and crying about, oh my gosh, what's a Republican going to do to me? Cheered that decision and wanted people fired if they didn't follow it. So think about where you were 4 years ago in your mindset about what you were willing to force other people to do in this country. And none of those people are now saying that you should be forced to do something you don't want to do. So I just, for me, there's some hypocrisy there that you need to look and you need to realize, hey, some of my positions 4 years ago probably weren't good for everybody.
Well, it's also building fear, and I don't think that's not what we need to do.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Listen, I completely agree with that.
Life will go on. Life absolutely will. Just like you said, you got up, you went to work the next day. You have to. You have to keep going.
If you're going to rely on an actor,
Right.
A singer, a sports figure, or a politician to make your life better,
Singer.
you are wasting your life.
All right, Gaga.
What happened to Taylor? She's so upset you didn't mention her right now. You're not getting free tickets to a concert
I
again.
can't. I'm done. It's
Yes.
over. Eras Tour is sold out. I'm on every wait list. It's over.
No
I can't
more
make it to
free tickets.
Vancouver because once I cross the border, I can't get back in now. Gay.
No more.
Good gracious.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about how I feel about that. And yeah, we'll see. I'm reading Melania's book.
Oh, yeah?
It's actually, I like her. She's actually kind of dope.
I think she is. I'd like to read it when you're done.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I'd like to read it when you're done, if you don't mind sharing. I think that she's an overlooked figure in the fact that she speaks multiple languages.
Yeah.
I think she's an incredibly smart person. You say what you want to about Trump. His kids have done an amazing job of staying out of trouble. They all seem to be pretty straight-laced people. And I give him credit. I give his first, second, and third wife credit for doing that. Usually when you see kids go through divorces and multiple moms come in and out of the picture, they don't do well, right? They struggle with that. But his kids have all seemed to have a pretty good feet on the ground and head on their shoulders. And I'm happy
his
about
exes have treated him well. Like, I don't know what kind of, non-disclosure they had, but they, like, Marla and you don't
she
really
voted for him.
They don't really. Yeah. Okay. So there
voted
you
for
go.
him.
I didn't even know that. So there you go.
So it wasn't like she's like mad at him and she voted. But anyway,
My favorite is Melania and Christmas, though. There's that meme that's floating around there, like, Christmas. I don't know how to decorate for Christmas. I don't want to decorate Christmas. It's ridiculous.
well, the other one is she got invited. Both of them, former president and future President Trump and Melania, got invited to the White House tomorrow.
Oh.
Don's going.
Okay.
Melania said no.
Yeah.
She is not happy
like her.
about her underwear drawer being raided. She is not happy. And I can tell you, I don't blame her for that. That was...
I wouldn't either.
No. I would be pissed.
Yeah,
about
interesting character. That's why I wanted to read the book, because I want to know more about her. And I like that she is her person.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where you'll see like Stand By Your Man, and then they morph into the. No, I love seeing a couple like still have their independence and still have their own thoughts and views. I think that's beautiful. I think that's.
And I think she tried to really protect Barron the first go around.
I agree with
and
that.
I think she's going to be much more involved this time because he's off at college, and I think she's going to be.
Well, Barron was integral in Trump's reelection.
Podcast.
I mean, he really was, because he gave his dad advice on which podcasts would best suit him to gaining votes in the electorate, and it absolutely worked.
Yeah, look, I would be asking all of my nieces, nephews, and kids about what podcast, because trust me, I watch the 904 Now.
Yeah, that's the only one you need to watch.
That's the only one I'm watching. So,
worth
you know,
it.
like, hey, there's other networks out there.
Yeah.
I found that hard to believe. I never even knew who Joe Rogan was until my kids saw. I mean, I always thought Pete Melfi was the only bald guy that did a great podcast.
No, Joe Rogan, 3-hour podcast too.
3 hour.
Not a short one.
Well, in other news, if you
Another
have any
joke that goes
political
unposted.
connections with the Trump family, my daughter would very much like to meet Barron Trump. I'm just saying.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I actually have someone who Darcy has met
Oh,
who
yeah.
worked for Trump. I have not had a chance to ask them to come on the show and kind of talk. You know, I gotta introduce them to the Mike Lewis show. So I'll do.
We
our best to
did.
do
We had
that.
Lee Court, famous Lee
Lee
Court. Oh my
But, yeah,
God.
but I
She
have
works for
somebody
Trump
that.
Tower.
So I will ask and see if they will come on the air and kind of talk to us. So
That would be fun.
Yeah.
How about you and your intro? You have Waltz in your
yes,
Don't get rid of that.
I'm not kidding.
Pete said on the morning show that is the one claim that's going to keep this show alive.
Guy's going far. Look what I did for his career.
Yeah, we need to maybe make that that slide a little slow. Like let's really show that. Yeah. How is that guy? Is he great?
He's a nice guy.
Awesome.
I met him a couple of times. Had a chance to talk to him. Really a genuine guy. Recognizes the problems that are facing our military.
Okay.
So when I talked to him for that interview, part of it was there's 63 at that time. There were 63 integral parts to a bomb
Oh wow.
that the United States needs that we are buying from China.
Huh.
We are not making it here domestically in the United States.
Wow, I didn't know
How
that.
stupid
Yeah, major.
are you
Yeah.
in the military to be buying parts from your enemy?
My goodness.
I mean, that is just the height of sheer stupidity. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Well, it
I'm not
shows
saying-
that they haven't read Schindler's List. I mean, Schindler had like a fake concentration camp where he was tasked with making munition supplies. He was tasked for making parts with bombs. And he made the argument that he needed children. So he saved families into this camp, and he treated them humanely and saved them from the horrors of the Nazis.
I saw the Spielberg, yeah.
But yeah, so he intentionally tanked the production of these parts, but he did it in a plausibly deniable way. So he made that they have to be precise, and they set the machinery just off so that nothing that they created could be used in the war.
Oh, wow.
But he made the argument that he needed to save people's children because he needed small hands to polish tiny parts in the interior of these like missile noses and things. So that's how he was able to save whole families from parents down to children.
Perfect job for gays. It's wonderful. Like what we could do. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if this happens, maybe we'll be the ones making the bombs. And
But
stuff.
it seems like they haven't
Where
read the
did you
book.
come
Like
up
you
with
did.
that?
Well, I'm thinking if the
Where
Democrats
did
are
you come up
projecting,
with
I'm just,
that? From Schindler's List to a whole different time.
It was a remix. Yeah.
Like if you don't want a side to win and you're making the munitions parts, it's very easy to tank it.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I'm saying
Yeah.
is the lesson from Schindler.
Well, there's so many different parts to the bombs, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just dynamite these days.
All right, I have to ask you. You brought up
Dynamite.
the gays.
Yeah, my
I have to
people.
ask your opinion on this.
Oh, Lord.
So I found this story last
Barbara Jean,
week.
get ready.
Get
But
ready.
Barbara Jean, this is not the kind of story you're looking for in a stripper story, but it is a stripper story.
I need to find out.
So there's a gay adult film performer who I guess has a significant following online.
Oh, Devin Franco.
Yes, Devin Franco. Have you seen Devin Franco?
No, but I have homework to do, Mr. Davis. This sepia is nice. You can't see me blush.
December's Movies with Mike.
None of the Devin Franco movies are going on the Wheel of Destiny. I just want you all to know that. That's not going on the Wheel of Destiny.
Devin Franco movies.
He's going to start throwing names in, hoping that we don't know what it is, and we should go see it. Anyway, I guess he made a comment online about supporting Trump and kids being transitioned at too young of an age. His followers, who most of which I'm assuming are gay, started blasting him.
Yeah.
Davey's still getting to the bottom of the movie.
This list is insane, Amanda. I cannot say any of these words. No, I can't say that.
Oh, man.
The territory. Pinned. Teachers. Oh, can't say that one. Cade Maddox. Submit.
Davey.
I have a lot of work to do, Mr. Davis.
Davey's going to be up all night. Literally. Up all night.
It goes all the way. Did you see all of that? I can't say any of these
Have
words.
you seen the awards he won?
Oh, beach blanket, but I can't say the last word. Oh, Barbara Jean, we're going to have to say, yeah. After
Barbara Jean.
hours.
Devin
Yeah.
Franco is the illustrious winner of Best Bottom honor from the 2021 Gay VN Awards.
That is hard.
That's what he said.
Oh, my God. You two
Congratulations,
kids.
Mr. Franco.
I knew how much fun you would have with this
Bottoms
story,
up,
so that's
yeah.
why he saved it to bring
Yeah.
it. But one guy told him in the comments, I've lost all faith in you. His comment back was, you don't even know who I am. Grow up. I mean, basically, just grow up. But I was like, where do you go with this story to
they
talk
make
about
good money, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in it.
Apparently, he's been working for quite some time.
Since 2017, at least on IMDb.
There's
Here you go, Davey.
Yeah, I see. Wow, look at that angle.
There's-
Wow. Get this off there before you get some cookie or some mess. Yeah, jeez. All of a sudden, Darcy can be like, you're hanging out with Davey too much. Oh. We were doing as a
Darcy was just sitting next to my computer. I don't know how it happened.
investigative journalism.
There's literally an article called "Meet the MAGA Porn Stars."
Yeah.
On the Spectator World.
I think
What is happening?
I fell into that too before the show prep. But yeah.
Dear God.
What a mess. But who cares? That's his private life.
Oh, I can't take you guys
That's
anywhere.
wild.
Davey messaged me. Barbara
Jeez.
Jean.
Barbara Jean, I'm going to send you the list of all of them.
Barbara Jean, hopefully this makes up for the months-long drought of no stripper stories for you.
I know. She needs them.
Yes. All
Mike
right.
had to swear off the searches after Lent.
Oh, was it? Was that true?
I was just one of those. When that story hit, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is
That
made
is
news.
so funny.
And then I was like, I got to share this with Davey and Amanda.
I mean,
So-
we're not bringing our best. George Santos, we're not bringing our best people this year.
I think I topped every George Santos story with that story right there.
Had to say top.
I think I topped
Had
every
to
bit
say
of it.
top. So, okay. Thank you.
No, he won Best
next,
Bottom.
Yeah, next story.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
All
You guys
9
are
people out there are blushing. Okay, God.
I mean, he's not a bad-looking dude.
No, not at all, right?
He's an actor and a director.
Oh my God.
I bet he is.
Oh, man.
Known for Highway, Randy Blue,
You can't, okay.
Men's Briefs,
Oh, just-
and Lucas Entertainment.
Okay.
I
Those
said
are
the
all
good ones.
production companies.
I said the good ones.
Well, you know, every
Wow.
I can't believe you just said
The
Randy
title's
Blue.
on there.
every title in a porn movie
Yeah.
is bad. Right? I mean, well, they're bad puns, right? And
Tijuana Toilet Tramps. Yeah.
they're
When
just,
push comes to shove.
Debbie Does Dallas. That's not that
yes,
bad.
I mean, they're just so. But when you get to, you know, I've not seen the gay porn titles, so this is my first.
It's the other beaded curtain. You don't go way in the back of the video scene.
Search IMDb. It's it's the least dangerous.
Have you been to Bourbon Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I took
I'll
my kids onto Bourbon Street.
I'll tell you my story. I was there with my dad and another guy from work. This is 20-some years ago. And we're walking down Bourbon Street. And we get to the end of Bourbon Street. And I'm like, I don't know where the line was. And they said, what line? I said, the line that went from Bourbon Street that was heterosexual Bourbon Street to Bourbon Street that was gay Bourbon Street.
Yes.
But I said, we passed it. And they're like, how do you know? I said, well, the last bar we walked by, there were guys dancing on the stage, guys, in assless chaps.
Yeah, that's
If you guys
normal.
want to keep walking, that's fine. I'm going back the other way.
It prevents butt acne. It does. It makes you
I
so
thought it
you don't have
prevented
sweat.
monkey butt.
It's very nice.
I don't know.
I don't
Same
know.
thing with like Key West. I mean, it's the same thing. Duval Street.
Duval Street.
Yeah, with the big high heel and the drag queens slide down. Well, I don't know if they're going to be allowed to anymore.
The
but
first
yeah.
time I ever saw a thong was in Key West, and it was a dude's thong, and the front of it was an elephant, and you put the junk in the top.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yes, I think you can find that on
the
Randy
trunk.
Blue.
Yeah, probably.
There's probably a discount code somewhere for you.
It's
very traumatizing.
You immediately booked your second trip back there.
Mom,
we're going back next week.
I was
Come with
8
me,
years
little lady.
old.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old, and my parents were like, "Whoop, you got too deep in that store. Come on back this way."
But I love the elephant.
deep.
Bobby
Oh, wow. Behind the green door.
was not a home improvement show.
That's true.
No, it wasn't.
That's true.
It was not. Giles?
Mhm.
Giles?
Yeah.
Never going to get it right.
Abby?
Never going to get it right.
Bobby, your last name and Task Force Hydro One. You're in good company.
Task Force. Task Force.
Hydro Task Force One.
Yeah, I mean, I know what that means.
Task Force.
All right. Anything else in the news? Davey, I'll ask you, do you think celebrities had any impact on the election?
Wow, no.
I think they had a negative impact.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
They really had zero impact on this election.
I would say
Nothing.
they had a negative impact.
I don't know. I don't know.
Not zero.
How do you
I
feel?
would
Oh, the
say
meaning like
negative.
that annoyed people?
Because here are these millionaires that we now find out were paid millions of dollars to do these speeches.
I'm glad you just
So
brought this up.
here are these millionaires standing on the stage telling people to ignore their lying eyes, and groceries aren't that expensive and gas isn't that expensive. Vote the way we tell you to, even though it's
So-
not going to negatively impact them.
Mama Oprah was
Okay.
caught on the streets
Dude.
of Los Angeles
Oh,
walking
man.
to her car. A reporter asked her, do you feel bad? Did you pocket the money that they gave you? Or did you feel like you have to give it back now since she lost? Something like that. I'll have
Yeah.
to send you the clip. And she denied it. She said that she was never paid for the endorsement. But like, I'm thinking like all of those musical acts, Gaga, Katy Perry,
Yeah.
I mean, all Beyonce, all of them, they had to have gotten some sort of
They
paycheck.
did. I saw a breakdown of it. I'm looking for it.
Oh, wow, really?
All right. So a magazine that has zero credibility.
I'm scared.
Zero. Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Right?
My hand was in it.
Oprah
It
Winfrey's
was.
team denies she was paid to appear in the event. When it comes out on Rolling Stone, it has zero credibility.
Well, that's all we
It might be
got.
a true story, but it's got zero credibility coming from Rolling Stone.
Well, CNN, what would you prefer? this is-
MSNBC.
Rachel Maddow. Yeah, perfect.
Is that Rachel Maddow or Mark Cuban? I can never tell.
Was that a fun joke? I like it. Oh, that's funny. But
So,
yeah.
I don't know that Oprah may not have been paid, but if her staff got paid, the woman's worth a ton of
Gazillion,
money.
yeah.
And if you're really trying to help your friend get elected, you're just like, hey, we'll take care of the whole thing.
Okay.
We'll just count it as a donation. Apparently, the Harris campaign may be in trouble, right, for not reporting some of this stuff that they paid for or didn't pay for.
Sure, they save all the receipts.
Well, she was running to take us out of a tough economy. And she had raised the most amount of money in the shortest period of time, and she ended her campaign in failure and in debt. And I think that just proved why she was not elected.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, she wasn't really given the greatest hand of success. I mean, we can at
No.
least acknowledge that.
Yeah.
100 days to get a narrative and generate this wave to surf on.
Yeah.
I feel like she did the best she could with the resources that she had.
Well, I feel
I'm
like
gonna
The
tell you
other
this.
one I'm very disappointed with, which is Mr. Biden. I'm completely disappointed and disillusioned by him.
I'm going to tell you this, Davey. If I gave you 100 days to let people get to know you, you would need 45 max.
Minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes. No problem. I already had it ready to go.
You're like, this is Davey. Here's my plan. Here's what I'm going to do. Everybody's
Yeah.
going to be happy,
Yeah.
right? I think some of that you have to be genuine, and I don't know that she is she's comfortable enough in herself to be genuine in front of people.
No, she wore pantsuits. Come on, ladies, get out of pantsuits. It's not helping the image. Nobody wants to talk. It's so stiff. It was like Ann Taylor. That's all she wore the entire campaign. Like, I just want give me something different. Like,
what
at least
dress would you have put her in, Davey?
Oh gosh, I would have probably put her in Alexander Wang, something with an umpire waistline, just something that just showed. Like that feminine, she was flying on the feminine ticket, or being and women's liberty and your body, blah blah blah. Why didn't she project that? That wasn't projected.
Well, she could have come on to Joe Rogan in t-shirt and jeans, and she could have just been real.
Yeah, or
and
that.
Joe Rogan was like, I didn't care. They gave me a list of things.
Yeah.
They were like. They gave me a list of things I couldn't talk about, and I didn't care. He's like, I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just come to my studio at any time of day, because she was in Texas when she had the Beyonce walk-on thing. She was in Texas. He was like, whenever you're finished with that and you have 3 hours for free, just drop into my studio. I'll show up at any point and we can go. And I'll talk about whatever you want. I don't care about what you don't want to talk about. Like, I will completely stay away from that. Just show up and let's have a conversation. And that was her moment to show up in a t-shirt and have a conversation about anything. It could have been anything, and she didn't do it.
I think
That's an intimidating thing, though. I know you're running for the ring. I know, I get it. I'm just I don't know.
But if you can't handle Rogan,
I don't know if I could handle
There's
Rogan.
a lot of stuff that if you can't handle Rogan, I really don't want you going into a room alone with Putin.
Yeah. Well, that was always your thing. Like, she can't talk to the foreign administration.
I just think she was gonna struggle with some of that stuff.
So, well, here we are. We're here. What happens now with her job? Like this. Because wait, HRC, isn't she like a professor? Like, isn't that what she is now? Like, didn't she move on to working for a university?
I don't know. Does she have a job?
Yeah, I think she's literally a professor at some college, and she's like a political analyst something.
So I am inclined. We talked about this a little bit with Troy and Lenny. And I'm inclined to agree with Tim Pool. The only time that she seems authentic and she seems excited about the conversation is when she talks about food. So, cooking show, go for it.
Oh my gosh,
go
Amanda, she has had a lifetime.
I don't care. That's the only time she's likable and she's
when
approachable when she talks about food.
Then that's maybe part of her campaign.
That seems to be her passion.
I disagree with you. I think she should do a show on transportation.
Oh my word!
Because
with
she
Pete
loves
Buttigieg.
She loves big yellow buses.
Oh, she was very excited about the bus.
And she was very excited about NASA. So both of those involve travel and space and buses. So I think she'd be perfect for transportation.
So SNL kind of did a parody, and Elon Musk is sour about it.
Yes.
And they kind of clapped back today and said that he was one of the worst guests that they've ever had on the show. But I didn't really think his parody was that bad. I mean, SNL really hasn't kind of been funny for quite some time now.
Decades.
Yeah.
It's been decades since I stayed up to watch SNL.
I always watch it rerun, yeah.
It's not funny.
It's not, yeah.
For humor to be funny, you got to make fun of both sides. You got to kind of hit everybody. I mean, Bill Maher, I'll watch. I don't laugh at a lot of his jokes, many of his jokes, but I do find that he kind of scares everybody. He was great the other day, and I was telling man I haven't watched the show, but I read some of the clips out of it. The best joke he had was Trump won so big, he was calling the Georgia Secretary of State, asking him to give 11,000 votes back.
Oh, my Lanta, geez.
And I thought, that's just a great joke. It's just funny. There's some truth to it. It's a little bit of a dig. It's acknowledging that Trump won, but you're digging at him at the same time. So I thought that was just a funny joke.
So what do you think about little Marco?
I think that's great, but it opens up.
You think it's great?
Well, it opens up a seat.
He was so nasty to him.
Well, I know, but it's been years. Marco didn't run against him. Marco didn't say anything bad about him when he was president, and didn't say anything bad about him after the presidency. And I think it's good for him. It's great for Florida because who's going to pick up the Senate seat? So you're gonna if Marco Rubio becomes the Secretary of State, right? All of a sudden you have an opening for a senator in a red state.
Is that going to be appointed, or is that going to be another?
I think it's an election.
But
But the thing for me that's interesting is you have a lot of very good conservative candidates who will run in that. And Florida's a pretty positive. If DeSantis decided he was running for it, it's his. He's not going to lose if he decides to run for the Senate. He's just not.
I don't know. Something weird happened with him. He won't lose. It was after the presidency, like when he was running. There was a shift in Floridians and how they perceived him. Am I wrong?
No, I think Floridians love him as governor. No, they love him as governor. They think he's amazing.
He went to like a 4-star rating out of 5.
No, I think he has a high rating as governor. He was competing at the highest level against Donald Trump. And Donald Trump fans have never given up on Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump has fought harder than any politician I've ever seen and been through more crap than any politician I've ever seen. And he just keeps sticking with it and working hard. And so there's a lot of loyalty there. DeSantis could never crack that loyalty. A lot of us, like me, I'm a big DeSantis fan, but I was going to vote for Trump. I just felt like Trump was ready for prime time. Trump was ready for a second term. DeSantis, it would have been his first term. He would have made those first term mistakes. New guy into Washington at that level. And I think he would have struggled a little bit. Trump is, in my mind, is off to a great start naming people. I love the people he's named so far.
And honestly, I would kind of like it for Marco Rubio to be in the administration because I've wanted to replace him in the Senate for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So I would love to get someone that I consider to be a more genuine conservative than Marco Rubio.
Like who, Michael Landon?
I don't know. So it's being reported on Twitter, and I don't know how accurate this is.
On X.
On X.
New administration, baby.
Megan Thee Stallion got $5 million. Lizzo got $3 million. Eminem got $1.8 million.
Lizzo, no way. Lizzo is canceled. If she got $1, I'm going to be real pissed that I'm not famous. That is crap, Lizzo.
If those numbers are true, you have just shattered any opportunity of Hollywood showing up at any political event for years. Because someone will be standing there in the front row with a sign saying, how much you getting for this?
How much you get paid?
They shouldn't. Yeah. Honestly, they shouldn't. Yeah. I mean, remember when we were talking, when we had our little tiff with Taylor?
Yeah.
I said, I wish she didn't say anything just because it creates a bias. And I want people to make their own decisions and not follow some iconic god of, music. That doesn't make any sense.
Mentioning that endorsement, I thought it was interesting who in the music industry, the luminaries of the music industry that were on stage with Harris, and Taylor was not. So I really wonder if she took into account the backlash that she got for posting that endorsement.
To be honest with you,
because
I wonder.
She did not go on stage with her, and that could have been.
And there was rumors that she was in Philly.
Yeah, and so I thought it was interesting that she never was on stage, but Beyonce was.
I got up Sunday morning, was riding to church, was listening to
Beyonce.
It was Outlaw Country. Oh. Close. I think she's on that.
Yeah, she is. This ain't Texas.
So it was some artist. I don't know who the artist was. He was droning on, and I eventually just got tired of him after 3 or 4 minutes, complaining about how he was going to be put in a concentration camp.
Oh,
and I'm like, dude, you're on air. No one's taking you off air. Yeah. You're allowed to say this ridiculousness if you want to. But I was like, just grow up. How old are you that you feel this way?
We got so many things to do.
How old are you?
I guess that's why a lot of my gay friends are mad at me because I'm known as David Trump in our circle right now. But I'm like,
Trump.
Well, because I live here.
You have the same hair.
I'm in Trump country.
You have the same hair.
Thank you very much.
Don't say that.
I know. It's awful.
Cruel.
But, there's just so much projection that's going on. I mean, you can't just jump to conclusions like that. I mean, I'm a gay man. I live in Northeast Florida. This is the most conservative. So it wasn't a shocker for me that he won. Like everyone's like, why aren't you like busted up and great? Because I see this every day.
Yeah.
And I learned how to live with it peacefully with harmony and listen to both sides of the story. Everybody has a beautiful opinion. That's great.
I could have made it easier.
Oh, you do every time I come on the show.
I work with a couple of idiots that sometimes are right. And unfortunately, this time those idiots were right.
Right. Yes, exactly. See,
Pete and Troy.
Many blessings.
Pete and Troy.
I like to lump Lenny in there too.
Yeah.
Well, he's a Democrat.
I know.
I'm really
like a
worried
cherry
about
on
Lenny.
top.
I haven't checked on him.
He's great. I've had a nice talk behind the scenes.
Yeah,
with
you
him.
should watch the Thursday show.
Okay.
It was a good conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Lenny because I think there are people that are way over the top and
Very
don't
valuable.
listen to other people, and it's not fun to talk to them. Lenny's super fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Because occasionally you like win a point, and it's like, okay, yeah, you got me there. And occasionally go, yeah, Lenny, you got a point there too, right? I mean, those are fun conversations to have, and those
occasionally.
are great. Yeah. There's a thing called a blue moon, Lenny. Once every 52 weeks.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh gosh. No, I think that there's a lot that we can learn from each other. We're a country that has a lot of enemies that would go after us. And the thing for me that's kind of interesting, and I'm not in the gay community, and I don't pretend to know about the gay community, but in America, I think you have freedom to be who you want to be, more so than you have in certain parts of the world. There are certain parts of the world that you and I have joked about. You're not going there.
Dubai, never.
We're not going there.
No.
And I said I wouldn't let you go there.
Couldn't,
Out of your own state, right? And so when you say stuff like that and you look at what's going on in other parts of the world
100%.
and how people that are gay are being treated in other parts of the world, it's insane how they are being treated and the penalty they pay for their sexual preference.
Right.
I find to me, that's what we all ought to look at together and go, that's wrong over there. We don't want that here. And let's try to fix over there for people that have to live over there.
Well, you have to remember our ancestors too. I mean, as a queer person, this is an extraordinary time to be able to remember and these are icons that created the life that I'm able to have today. I'd have to be like closeted and crazy, reading the reads like this every single day. You know what I mean? Like I can actually like be myself. And it's because people shattered a glass ceiling before me. And if I were just to sit here and say I'm just going to give up and be all projecting of all of these concentration camps and all that they're saying, that's not doing any justice of what we've survived over all of these years and thrived. So yeah, I think it's a magical time. It's change. Change, people don't like change. It's going to be different, but like you said, got to get up, got to go to work, and get your shoulders back, and you're going to figure it out. That's it.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, one of the biggest cultural wars that folded a tent that I never saw coming was the right fought for years to keep marriage between a man and a woman. Supreme Court comes out with a decision and said gay marriage is allowed. There was all of a sudden that the whole argument went away.
Yeah.
Right. Like Roe v. Wade, they came out and said abortion is now legal. That battle is still raging today.
Well, the decisions in the states.
I understand, but it's still raging today.
Right, correct.
There's nobody putting amendments on ballots trying to get rid of gay marriage today.
We don't know. We don't know. But that's, again, a projection, not reflection. Yeah.
So, I mean, so for me, I look at that and I go, that was about, that I never, when that happened, I never saw in my mind, the right giving up on that.
Did we ever see Roe versus Wade that was going to go away? Did we ever think that was going to be a thing? Oh, so you did. You guys knew that. I didn't know that.
For me, I thought it was bad law.
I didn't think it would happen when it did.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was bad law. So whenever you have the Supreme Court change something that had never been changed before, and even I think I read an article this weekend that Ruth Bader Ginsburg even thought the law that was used to establish Roe v. Wade was a bad law.
Yeah,
So
she said it was a bad decision.
I don't mind that states are voting on it. I think it's great to give it to people to vote. I think 7 out of 9 or 8 out of 10 abortion amendments passed. Even the one in Florida had a majority of the people voting for it. It just didn't hit the 60% threshold. So in the state of Montana, where Donald Trump won by 30-some points, an abortion amendment passed that said, okay, abortion up to a certain point. I don't know what the details of it are, any of those things. And you had some people looking at that on election. I go, well, how can people in Montana vote for that? Because people in Montana can say, I want this guy to be my president, but I want this to be another law. And they can have just because you voted for Trump doesn't mean you're automatically against this other thing all the time. So I just, for me, I thought that was very interesting. You're going to have this settle out in the states. You're going to have some up and down swings depending on whether states are conservative or not. But I don't think it's ever going away.
Yeah.
And the thing that we talked about a lot when it overturned, Amanda and I did, if you went to Europe, the restrictions in Europe and all of these progressive countries in Europe were far worse than
almost universally 12 weeks or less.
12 weeks or less across Europe. But nobody wanted to talk about that.
No.
But the reality was the European countries had decided that was a date. Figure out what you want the date to be in your country or in your state and get it on a ballot and see if people will vote for it.
Sure.
A takeaway for me from this election, the results, I mean, Donald Trump won all of the swing states, but most of the senator races in those swing states went to Democrats. And I remember as a child hearing adults talk about, oh, well, if you're a Republican, you just vote Republican all the way down the ballot. You don't even have to think about it. As soon as you see the R, you just vote for them. And that is not what people do anymore. Because like Mike was saying, Trump won, the abortion amendments passed.
We've never been like that as a family. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just something that I heard being in the Panhandle, which is a deep red area, having family in deep red areas, was you would vote R regardless. You just wouldn't even question it. But people are not doing that. People voted for Trump and the presidency. They voted for Democrats in the Senate. They passed amendments that leaned left rather than lean right. Like, people are really looking at the ballot and they're dissecting it at every level and they're deciding what they want at every level. It's not a straight party vote for people anymore. And that's just what we saw in this election. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
People are more engaged.
Yes. And I think that's very interesting. So listen, we are past time.
Oh, it was so fun though.
I know. You guys were amazing today. Awesome show. It's nice that you can bring it to a show and just relax, Davey.
Yeah, it is nice.
It's nice that you can just relax here.
Yeah.
So much pressure on you. But you do so well under pressure.
Oh, it's so good.
The highest rated show will be back tomorrow at noon.
Yes, your mouth that got ears.
That morning show thing is on too with some guys. And I don't even know who's on it, but they'll be there tomorrow. And we just want to take credit for being the show that got it right today, production-wise. Amanda,
very nice.
Take a bow. Awesome job. Let everyone know. Leave some notes for Ricky. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, gracious.